So today's video is just be grateful for today. Be grateful for the day you have. I'm off to a funeral today for a friend of mine who I worked with for many years, and it just dawns on me how much it impacts the people around him. He's got a young son and a wife, and it just impacts to me about just how important it is to be grateful for every day and to love every day and live every day to its fullest. But also just not to spend our lives whinging and bitching about the things that don't work and the things that aren't fair. I'm sure he would love to have another day with his family. He would love to have another day where he can, have time to whinge and bitch about things. He's a guy who's always very upbeat, very happy, a really decent guy. But he's now gone. That's it for him. And the sad part is his family don't get any more time with him. He doesn't get any more of the joys and the fun stuff with his son. He doesn't get any more of that enjoyable, fun times with his wife. It is just what it is. And as sad as that is, I think if we all look at this sort of stuff and just understand that it's so important that we take the best out of every day that we have. I've been through my challenges and struggles in my life like we all have. But what I try and focus on now is when things are tough, is what are the lessons I can learn out of it? What is there in it for me that I can push through, just to understand that this isn't the end of the road. I still have so many more days left probably that it doesn't really matter whether today's a shit day or whether I'm going through tough times. The thing that does my head in is when I come across people in my life who are negative, who whinge and bitch and complain about things all the time. I talk to people all the time these days, a lot of police officers especially, who are struggling with some significant, serious stuff in their life, with depression and PTSD, some battling suicide, some really tough things. And the great majority of those people are still very resilient. And when I have a conversation with them and help them sort of look at a different perspective to be happy, then they're normally willing to take it on board. And the thing that I find really quite amusing and quite frustrating is often the people I find who whinge and bitch the most in their lives have the least amount of things to worry about. They're normally the people who really don't have too much grief or trauma or struggle or obstacles in their life. They create a fair bit of drama and grief themselves. But the stark reality is the people who have really tough things going on normally don't whinge and bitch. This friend of mine I caught up with probably a month ago, and there was a number of us had lunch together and had a really good chat to him. And when we were having that chat, I said to him, like, how you feeling, brother? I know it's not great. And he still thought he had 6 or 8 months left at that point. And he said to me then, he said, mate, what do you do, Solly? You just got to keep moving, keep going forward, keep doing what I can do. He was trying experimental treatments. He was still really upbeat. Now, it was emotional, and obviously it was tough for him, but still he was doing his best to be the best person he could be and be upbeat and be positive. So my question to ask you is, if there's a guy who's got terminal cancer who can still be upbeat and positive, even though he knows he's leaving his young son behind, and there's so many things in his son's life he won't see, so many things with his wife that he won't experience. If he can do that and experience that, then what can you do in your life to be more positive and be more resilient and not be such a sad sack? We all get so focused in on how people treat us badly, on how life isn't fair, on why my boss is an asshole. Today it's Monday morning when I'm doing this, and I'm still at the coast, I'm having a few days off. But I just reflect back to when I was working my corporate job, and I really didn't like it. And I'd be quite negative often going to work on a Monday morning. And the thing is that if you hate what you do on the Monday, do something different. But more importantly, if you hate what you're doing, get out and change your life, do something significant, but be grateful for what you have. If you wake up this morning breathing, you're in front of a lot of other people. If you wake up this morning and you're not battling a terminal disease, you don't have a significant disability, you don't have sick children, you aren't looking down the barrel of financial ruin, whatever it may be, you are miles in front of so many other people. So stop being so fucking miserable and start standing up and doing something about living an amazing life for yourself. When I look back through my own time with the PTSD, suicide, depression, I let it get on top of me because I was being a sad sack and I was not willing to take the steps or make the moves to make things better. It took me 15 years to get my shit back on track because for the first 2 or 3 years, I just wallowed in my own self-pity. So do yourselves a favour, get off your ass and do what you need to do to live an amazing life. And in the meantime, be grateful for every minute because you just don't know when it's going to be your last one. Have an awesome day.